Hello my friends, welcome back. In today's video, I'll explain why your ex-girlfriend or ex-wife will eventually regret leaving you even if you don't absolutely nothing to make it happen. People often ask me, Maria, why do these comebacks happen? Why does she return after 6 months, a year, or even 5 years later, saying things like, let's try again, I still love you, etc. Especially when right before the breakup, she seemed completely indifferent or even angry, bitter, or full of resentment. Today I'll walk you through the most common scenarios so you can clearly see what's really going on. Scenario number one, she leaves you for another guy. Yes, you lost your value in her eyes. Your interest faded. She found someone else. But what happened here is that she jumped from one relationship to another, which is not healthy. Relationships are supposed to go through certain stages. Skipping those stages always backfires in the long run. Also, with her new man, there is often something called predator mood. He saw her as a challenge, someone already taken, already in a relationship. She was the prize. But once she leaves you and says, now I'm full yours, what actually changes? Now he's responsible for her issues. Does he want that? Not always. Even at this early stage, cracks may begin to show. But let's say, just for argument's sake, everything goes smoothly. Scenario number two. Everything is going great at first. Let's say she meets someone new and things seem perfect. They are totally in sync, soulmates. She tells you it's over. Maybe she says you deserve better, or I'm not good enough for you, or maybe she blames you and says you were never enough. Doesn't matter. A month goes by, 2 months, 3 months, and suddenly problems start creeping into her perfect new relationship. Because let's face it, no matter how good things seem at the start, every relationship eventually hits friction. There will always be some tension, some misalignment, some rough edges. Someone has to adjust, compromises. It's normal. Now, here is the key point. In your relationship with her, the negativity had already built up. Resentment, arguments, boredom, whatever. But with the new guy, the tension hasn't built up yet. But give it time. Usually after about 3 months, it starts. They already have each other now. So what's next? Now, it's not some exciting romantic chase. It's just real life. And this is where it gets interesting. The mind always clings to the past, especially the good parts. See, her brain won't be focusing on what this new guy does better than you. She already made that comparison when she left you. That's part done. But after a month, two, maybe three, she starts to think, wait, what was better about him? That's you. When her new boyfriend starts slipping up, and he will, she starts noticing those differences. It might be something small, how she talks, how she handles stress, how he treats her when she's emotional. There won't just be one or two of these moments, there'll be several. And little by little, she starts doubting, starts thinking, maybe you, wasn't that bad after all. Let me give you a quick example that will make this crystal clear. It's just how memory works. It idealizes. Take college, for instance. Back when I was in school, I didn't love it. I didn't want to be there. It wasn't interesting to me. But if you asked me today, would you want to go back there for 2 weeks? Absolutely. Now it seems fun, even exciting. Same with your first job. You probably hate it. Waking up early, going to work, dragging yourself through the day. But now you remember it differently. There is a strange nostalgia to it. That's exactly what happens after a breakup, given enough time. She'll start thinking back to how things were with you. Little flashes, emotional memories, and whether she admits it or not, those memories stick. It's inevitable. Here is another common scenario, and it's powerful. Time passes after the breakup, but instead of falling apart like she expected, you don't beg her to come back. You are not suffering the way she imagined. See, she wants you to be broken. She wants you to chase her. Even if you are not blowing up her phone every day, she still expects that you are out there hurting, missing her, struggling. And when she sees that you are not, when she realizes you are living your life, thriving, maybe even dating someone else, it hits her hard. And at this point, two things can happen. Scenario one, she gets triggered immediately. She might even message you out of the blue. Ignore her. Don't respond. She's not reaching out from love. She's reaching to her own ego, taking a hit. Scenario two, she sees what's happening. It hurts. But she stays silent. Why? Because she's afraid you'll reject her now. So she waits, watches, maybe until your new relationship ends, maybe until she gathers the courage, but eventually she'll start pinging. Subtle check-ins, random texts, stories viewed, trying to get a reaction. This happens more often than you think, and trust me, it's not random. It's part of the psychology behind these kinds of breakups. So if you are in this spot right now, stay focused on yourself. Let time and your progress do the talking. Let's talk about the next scenario. And this one's common. She left with high expectations. Maybe she didn't leave for someone else. She just left to find yourself. She believed the lie. You were holding her back. She's meant for more. Now it's time for her to build a career, live her best life, glow up for Instagram. She's getting likes, attention, comments. She feels powerful for a while. But then a month passes, then two, three, four, and reality hits. Nothing is actually working out. She thought things would be easier. She imagined some exciting, perfect future, but she's still stuck. And worse, she starts remembering, wait, it wasn't actually that bad with him. We had something, and now she gave it up for nothing, and she knows it. Another powerful scenario, life humbles her fast. This one always happens eventually, and the more toxic and arrogant she was, the faster it comes. What does it look like? She ditches you, walks away, betrays you, and then someone else does it to her. Maybe a new guy she caught feelings for leaves her. Maybe she jumped into something new and he rejected her. Now she's hurting. She feels used. She feels dumped. And in that pain, guess what she thinks? Damn, maybe I made a mistake. He didn't deserve what I did to him. Now she feels guilt. Now she feels regret. And that's when the boomerang effect hits. She comes back. Now, whether her apology is real or not, that's a whole different conversation. But trust me, these comebacks aren't random, they're a pattern. And once you understand it, you stop chasing. Here is another scenario. You've probably heard before: change yourself, she'll see it, and she'll come back. Sounds good, right? But let me be straight with you. It doesn't work like that. Not in the way guys hope it will. First off, a real change takes time. Not a month, not 6 weeks. We are talking about a year, two, sometimes more. But here is the truth. If you truly level up in your mindset, in your discipline, in your life, and one day your path crosses again, she will notice. She'll see the difference, she'll feel it. But here is the key part. No one tells her, and it's critical. She only feels it when she also sees you don't want her anymore. That's what hits her. That's the switch. That's the moment that stinks. Because now you're out of her league and she knows it. But understand this. If you are doing all this for her, if every step of your glow up is just to get her back, it will fail. Your energy will be off, your progress will feel fake. And even if you do run into her again, she'll feel that you are still stuck in the past. You need to forget her, move on, get serious about yourself, for you. Then, if life ever brings her back around, cool, but by then you won't even care. So, guys, here is the bottom line. Even if you do absolutely nothing to try and get your ex back, but at the same time avoid obvious mistakes, the odds of her reaching out again are already pretty damn high. And I'll leave you with just one piece of advice. If she starts poking around, and she will, whether it's a casual, how are you, asking for help with something, accidentally liking one of your posts, it's not random. That's a pink. She's testing the waters. And this is where you got the power to flip the script. If you handle it right, if you don't react, if you don't chase, if you stay calm and focused, you are in control now. But if you are not sure how to respond, don't respond at all. Unless, and this is key, unless she seriously wronged you when she left. In that case, no conversation should happen without a genuine apology. After that, it's up to you what to do next. That's it for today. So drop a like and stay tuned for the next video.